Good morning, students. Hope you're fine and safe. Students, today we'll be starting with the second chapter, that is the four stone ages. It is a very interesting chapter, students, as we learn about the earliest period of history. Let's move to the next slide, students. The Stone Age. In the Stone Age, stone was used as the principal raw material for tools. What was used as the principal raw material? Stone was used for making tools. Not just for making tools, it was used for making weapons also, for making houses also, right? Now this stone age it began roughly around 2.5 million years ago, right? And in some parts of the world it ended 5,000 years ago, and in some regions it ended recently. During Stone Age, human beings passed through different stages of biological and cultural evolution. Different stages of biological and cultural evolution, right? In this picture also you can see that there is a significant change in the face, shape. So, in the last chapter also we studied the biological changes. What all changes were there? That their jaws, it started shrinking and their brains started developing. And also they started walking upright on 2 feet. Right? Now let's move to the next slide, students. Division of Stone Age. Students, Stone Age is divided into different periods. And this division is based on the quality of stone tools used. The quality of the stone tools which were used, on that basis, the Stone Age is divided into four periods. First is Palaeolithic Age, second is Mesolithic Age, third is Neolithic Age, and fourth is Chalcolithic Age. Right? Students, in this video, I'll be just covering the Paleolithic Age. Now, this Paleolithic Age, it lasted from 5 lakh BC to about 10,000 BC. We all know what BC stands for. You've read about BC in the last class also, in fourth class, that BC stands for before Christ. That is, we are talking about the years which happened before the birth of Jesus Christ. And AD stands for Anno Domini, right? The years which happened after the birth of Jesus Christ. Then Mesolithic Age. It lasted from 10,000 BC to 8,000 BC. Then Neolithic Age. It lasted from 8,000 BC to 4,000 BC. And after that, Chalcolithic Age. It lasted from 4,000 BC to 2000 BC. In Chalcolithic Age, man used stone and copper for tools. Right? For making tools, they use stone and copper. Okay? Then, students, let us go into detail about the Paleolithic or Old Stone Age. Paleolithic Age is also called Old Stone Age. Now let us know why it is called Old Stone Age. Because since Paleolithic Age, it is derived from the Greek word. Paleos, it means old, and lithos, it means stone. So if we combine these two, that means old stone. So from here we derive the name Old Stone Age. Thus, this age is also called Old Stone Age. Now students, Paleolithic Age is also called Primitive Age or the Prehistoric Age. Right? So, Primitive Age or the Prehistoric Age. In the last chapter, students, we read about that prehistory or prehistoric age does not have any written records. It only have the archaeological records, and there are no written records of prehistoric age. Students, in Paleolithic Age, man used stone as tools and weapons. Here in the images also you can see that different types of tools were made up of stone, right? And here you can see the different types of weapons. This is a weapon which was attached to a stick. So this were made out of stone. Now we'll see in Paleolithic age how the primitive man, right? So from the topic name you can find out that they were basically hunters and wanderers. Primitive man were hunter and wanderers, right? Wanderer means those who move from one place to another. Now he moved from places to places. There are several reasons why he moved from one place to another. First is search for food. Obviously, they moved from one place to another in search of food, as primitive man did not know how to produce food. He was a food gatherer. He used to gather the food, like he used to get fruits from the trees. Then they used to eat the stem part also. So he was basically a food gatherer. So if he stayed at one place for a long time, he would have eaten all the available plants and animal resource. So that is why he moved from places to places in search of food. Now the second is movement of animals. Primitive man was not aware about domestication, right? He was not aware about domesticating the animals. As animal moved, primitive man also followed them. The third reason is different season. Plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons, right? So primitive man moved from one region to another in search of different kinds of fruit. Right, students? And the last reason is need of water. Everyone needs water to survive. Even we need. So in search of water, during dry season, primitive man migrated to the place where there was ample amount of water resource available, right? So these were the four reasons. First, four reasons why he moved from places to places. First is in search of food. So in search of food, he moved from places to places. Then as the animals moved, the primitive man also followed them. Third is different season. For getting the taste of different fruits, they used to move from one place to another, right? Then the fourth reason is need of water, right? As we all know that everyone needs water to survive. So wherever there was ample amount of water resource available, they used to shift there, right? Now let's move to the next slide. Now we'll read about the tools and weapons of Paleolithic or Old Stone Age, right? In Paleolithic age, early man used sharp-edged stone, bones, horns and wood as tools, right? Early man, he used sharp-edged stone. Stone was used, bones, horns and wood as tools. Commonly used stone was flint. This was the commonly used stone. Why it was commonly used? We'll see the reason. It was hard, right? It was grey in color and it could easily be shaped. It could easily be shaped. That is why it was commonly used. Thus, it was used to make knives, choppers, hand axes. See, you can see different types of tools which were made up of stone and also of bones, horns, right? Then the next slide is that these tools and weapons, they were used to remove animal skin and for digging of earth, right? And these tools, some of the tools have been found in river valleys like the river Son, now in Pakistan, then near the Narmada River Valley, Godavari River Valley and Tungabhadra river valley. So tools of that time are found near these river valleys. Now let's move to the next slide. Now we'll learn about the clothes and shelter of Paleolithic age. So, primitive man wore skin of hunted animals to protect himself against rain or cold. Here in the picture you can see that this man is wearing the skin of an animal, right? They used to wear it so as to protect himself from rain or cold. He also used bark of trees or leaves to cover his body, right? Bark of trees or leaves to cover his body. For shelter, he went to caves. This you can see it is a cave, and also this is also a cave. And sometimes hid himself behind thick tree leaves for shelter against rough weather and wild animals. So in this slide we learned what type of clothes did they wear and where did they live, their shelter. Now next slide is the discovery of fire. Students, the fire was discovered during the Paleolithic age, right? And it was discovered by chance. It was the major discovery of the Paleolithic age or the Old Stone Age. It was the major discovery. So after the discovery of fire, primitive man's life changed totally. Now he got warmth, right? He got warmth and light from it, which could be used to protect himself from the wild animals. He could also roast his food, which became tastier and digestible, right? Now he could roast his food, and he could also scare away animals by burning fire at the entrance of his cave during night. So, discovery of fire was a major discovery. Now, the next slide is a conclusion. Hooray! So, this was the story of primitive man. In this whole video, we came to know about the story of primitive man of the Paleolithic age. Which age? Paleolithic age or the prehistoric age. We learnt that primitive man were hunters and wanderers, right? In the first slide we read about this, that they were hunters and wanderers and they used to move from places to places in search of food. As the animals moved, they used to move. Then in this, after that we read about the tools and weapons he used. Then in the next slide we read about the types of clothes and shelter he stayed in. And in the second last slide we read about the discovery of fire. Hope you liked the video. Thank you students, and stay safe and stay healthy.